Hey you guys, welcome back. So the house is finally starting to come together. A little bit. It's definitely slow, but I think that is totally to be expected when you're moving from a small apartment into a larger home. So I finally have a space that I think I can show you guys. And I think it's a good one to talk about because where it is has zero natural light, like not a lick. And the ceiling lights are not going to work to keep plants alive, and there is no way for me to string in any kind of grow light. I looked into it, I tried, there's no outlet anywhere nearby. I'd have to like cross the floor or hardwire something in, and I wanted to take the easy route. So my entire home, every single room has some kind of green in it. So any corner that doesn't, like a dark corner, looks a little funny. So this space that I'm going to be showing you, here's an image of what it kind of actually looks like. It's designed to be mudroom, but it's designed to be open closet mudroom. So it did have coat racks, which we have since removed and then painted over. And you can actually see this from the front door. It's at the garage door, but when you first turn into the front door, that is the first thing that you see. So if we had used that as open storage for like coats, it wouldn't have looked good. So for this specific project, I have to say thank you to my mom because she had the eye to see that that spot was never destined to be coat racks. It needed to be something better. And speaking of my beautiful mother, she is going to be mad at me for posting this before it's fully completed. She still wants to do a little bit of painting and switch out the light fixture, those kinds of things, but it's for the most part at a point that I like at this point. And before we head downstairs so I can show you, full disclosure, there are some fake plants in this. And that is for the simple reason that I love plants, I love green, but I am not in the business of torturing poor plants by forcing them to try to spend any amount of time in complete darkness. So you'll see there are some real plants, cuttings of course, and then sprinkled in with some fake plants. So I will take you downstairs and show you what that looks like. Okay, so here we are down at the front door on the main floor of the house, and like you can see here, this is the view when you first come in the front door and turn the corner, and it's very visible. So if those were exposed jackets like it was supposed to be, that would not have been a very attractive space. And here I have a painting. I actually brought this from the apartment. I really like it. I love the colors in it. I like that it's not of a scene. A good abstract painting just adds some colors without being too much visual interest, right? So just some nice splashes of some colors that I really like. And then I've also added this mirror. It helps extend the space by kind of creating that around the corner view, but it's also good for checking, making sure you look good before you head out the door, right? Okay, so here's a general idea of what the space looks like now. So that coat rack, that is what both of these actually had across it. So of course that was never going to look great open storage like that. Here's the pantry, which you can't really hide. Then all this upper space too, I figured I'm not going to try and put stuff. I'm not that tall. I'm just going to use that as, again, more decorative space just to look nice. Okay, let's start the tour on the middle shelf. So this back wall is what my mom still wants to paint. I'm not sure exactly what color yet, whether it'll be another shade of this paint in a darker color or maybe something from the painting even. And the color spectrum or the color palette we're going for here is kind of golds and blacks and bronzes. That's kind of the look that I'm going for throughout the home. And I have this back piece, which is kind of creating like a backdrop. It's big enough that it kind of has a nice little point of interest. This guy is a nice little fake IKEA plant. I have them everywhere. From a distance, they look just fine. Truly, they look fine. So that guy's in there for now. And I have these candles all throughout my home. I love them because I like dim lights. These flicker, they're warm, and then I don't have to turn on lights at night. They light the space really well. And over here, we have, of course, collecting wine corks. We've got some little decor items like a clock. Here's a fake snake plant and a real Monstera deliciosa. It's a cutting and it's been sitting in here rooting for about 2.5 months. I'll pull it out for you. Okay, so there you go. You can see the roots are about 2.5 months old. Clearly the plant is not ailing, it's doing great here in the dark. And this truly looks the exact same as it did the day that I put it here. If you're ever looking for real plants to fill a dark space, propagations are amazing. They really grow well in the dark. And you can see I've got a second one down here as well, just another piece of the same mother plant. And I've got this nice larger lantern with another candle, a couple of fake IKEA plants. Again, they're at a distance. From a distance, they look just fine. Like, they're green, they brighten it up with the actual plant next to it. They're pretty good, they pass. Haven't figured out a pot for the small one yet. And this Monstera Deliciosa I have again in a vase inside of a pot, like a shell, just so that it has the same aesthetic. And so yeah, from a distance, it's not super full, but it is the ground level shelf. It doesn't really have to be. Okay, so now I'll head up to the top shelf. And what we've got here is another candle. And I don't love it here. I feel like it's just kind of a big box, but you'll see in a minute why it's definitely necessary and why I keep it there. And here's a hack. Most of these wine bottles are empty. I only have a couple that actually have wine in them that I can have to drink around, but I keep all the empty ones to fill the space just for the aesthetic. And this back piece, again, kind of creating a nice visual interest, is on a riser. You could only see the riser if you were like 6'5", but I had Andre build it because it just was like 2 inches too short. It needed to be a little bit taller. So there you go, from about 5'8" height. It actually looks like it's sitting and filling the space properly. It didn't before, so thanks, Andre. And now this guy, a little string of pearls, a fake one, of course. Just picked that up at Superstore here in Canada. Again, all the fake ones are probably to be switched out, but that'll come with time as I find stuff. Okay, we're gonna flick off the lights here and go into night mode. I can almost guarantee my camera's not gonna be able to pick up how nice this really is, but you can see these candles light up the space and they're just so pretty. They have a nice little flicker. They're really warm. You can see why I need that one up top, or else it just wouldn't be, like, the weight would be off. Of course, it's still bright outside, so it's kind of throwing my camera for a loop. And I've got lights kind of up in all these places. These are actually 2 different heights. They're kind of coming across on camera as being the same height, but they are not. Okay, the light's back on. So you can see this is what it looks like when you're coming into the mudroom from the garage. It's just such a pretty space. Perfect for bringing in the groceries. There's my pantry. I can't really hide it, so I've tried to make it look clean. And I love these window look mirrors so much. This, again, a mirror just creates that around the corner look. Like, it makes the space feel bigger because it's just giving that reflection. So shows you around the corner rather than just a wall. And of course, I can check myself out before I head off for groceries. So that's always good. This is actually looking to the front door now. From the racks, you can see that's kind of where you come around that bend there. And this painting again, so I had said that we were going to paint the back walls, just again, a little more visual impact. We were thinking maybe something from here, one of the more neutral colors in the back, or maybe just the same paint color but in a darker shade. To be determined. I really like these colors, but you know, who knows? We still have to put the light in too. Okay, we are back upstairs with Sven in his little bed. So I finally have that hallway in a space that I really truthfully love. When I come in now through the front door, it just has such a nice, pretty look to it. And it is so much better than if we were storing coats there. Like, I can't even imagine if that was the route we took. With any decorative space like that, it'll always evolve. So I'm sure that in a year from now, it's not going to look the same. Like, while you're out, you find little things that you're like, oh, that would be perfect for the space, or something to change. So I'm sure that it will be changing a little bit as I add in more shelves throughout the home, move stuff around, that kind of thing. And those propagations won't last there forever. Like, I will have to pull them out and plant them up. But for now, they've been there for maybe 2.5 months and they're still doing fantastic. They basically look exactly the same, just rootier. So if you guys have any questions at all, definitely leave them in the comments down below. I've missed you guys. I can't wait to chat. And thank you guys again so much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, you guys.